it is Sunny, and today I'm going to be doing something that I haven't done in a long while, and that is make a top 10 list. Today's top 10 list will be about my top 10 favorite Animal Crossing villagers. Also, this is just my personal top 10 list, and these are about my own opinions, so if you don't agree or if you have different favorite villagers, that's completely fine. Also, I'm going to be excluding New Horizon villagers since I have not played New Horizons. A majority of these villagers are going to be only from New Leaf, since New Leaf is the only Animal Crossing game that I have ever played. Quick thing though, I count villagers as these Animal Crossing characters that move into your town and basically play as your neighbor. Isabelle does not count as a villager in my eyes. She's more of an NPC, so don't expect Isabelle, KK Slider, or any of those type of characters to be on this list. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. At number 10, we have Maple the Bear. For starters, she's cute and she's very friendly to me. Also, I have a tiny story that I would like to share about her. One day, I was at the campsite because I had nothing else to do, and then I saw her. She was adorable, and she was definitely better than some of my other villagers I had at the time. The thing was that I had no room for her to move in, so I had to leave her at the campsite, and I never really saw her at the campsite ever again. But eventually, a neighbor moved out, and then guess who moved in their spot? Maple! This was extremely random, and there was no way. It's just luck. It's just pure luck. And because of that dumb luck, it's made me appreciate Maple even more. But yeah, I don't think Maple is an amazing villager, but I really love the fact that she's a teddy bear, and I just really like her. If I ever come across her and I have the chance to invite her, I most likely will. Number 9. Flora the Flamingo reminds me most of my home state, Florida. 1. Her name is quite similar to the way you spell Florida. 2nd, she's a flamingo, and you can find flamingos in Florida. Actually, flamingos were considered an invasive species in Florida for quite a while, but more recently, people are starting to consider them as native. So, yeah, there's your fun fact for the day. Not only does she remind me of home, but she's very vibrant and very pretty. I mean, look at those very colorful colors. I just really like those colorful colors. They really make me happy. Also, she's very lively, and she's very sweet. Like, she'll say hello to you every morning and run up to you. Like, Flora is just like a sweetheart. I just love her. She's most likely one of my favorite ostrich-type villagers of them all. If I could hug any of the villagers on this list, it would most likely be Flora. I mean, she just has the fluffiest tail, and her face markings look like a heart. I just really love her. I love her so much. Anyway, I'm going to move on now. Number 8. Here we have Claudia the Tiger. Now, I know not everybody will find her looks appealing, but she really makes me happy. She's the first tiger villager I ever got, and she's just very colorful. Purple is not one of my favorite colors, but she just pulls it off in my opinion. She was just so sweet to me, and she was the only villager I liked in my town for quite a while. I really like her. Not only that, but she kind of reminds me of Barney, and Barney used to be my childhood hero. I mean, I kind of hate Barney with a burning passion now, but Claudia just gives me that sense of friendliness and nostalgia. Just this kind of vibe that I love, and that the kid in me wants to always hang out with Claudia. Claudia, she looks like she could be the newest Nickelodeon cartoon mascot for like Nick Jr. I mean, I just really like Claudia. I just really like her. She seems like a big softie, like a very soft, gentle giant, and I just personally really like her. The childish side of me is like, yes, Claudia the Tiger, best tiger in the world. Take her, let's go. Anyway, I think I'm gonna move on to the next villager now. Number 7. This is Victoria the Horse, most possibly my favorite horse villager of them all. Now, for a while in my village, I had this other horse villager called Winnie, and Winnie was the first horse villager ever, and I did not like Winnie that much. I really thought Winnie was horrible, and Winnie was just kinda dumb, in my opinion. But then Victoria moved in right next to Winnie, and Victoria was like this beautiful country gal who was always like, "Hello, how you doing there, honey?" She just gave me this wholesome old southern lady kind of vibe, and I just really liked Victoria, especially compared to Winnie. Now, I personally think that the yellow on her shirt and her mask don't match and that the mask is a bit too bright, but I honestly have too much respect for this horse to try and critique her design. So, I'm just going to say, Victoria, best country girl ever, and then I'm gonna move on. So yeah. Now on to number 6. Now, I have never had Kit Kat in a village of mine, at least not from what I can remember, but he definitely fits the vibe of my village, and I personally really like his design. He seems like a childish kind of villager, and he's very vibrant, and he also has blue incorporated in his design. So I just really hope I can get him in my village one day. I just really like him a lot, and I really think he would fit in. It's just something about his playfulness, something about him being a cat, it just all clicks together. Anyway, moving on. Number 5. This is Keaton the Eagle. Now, to be honest, I did not like him at all at first. 1, he moved way too close to my house, like he was right in front of it and he was blocking the view. 2, his design. I honestly didn't think anybody would like him. I personally don't like the fact that he has eyebrows and his eyes look a little bit weird to me. His color palette is fine though. And 3, I didn't like him because I thought he was going to be a jerk that was always going to be in my face like, "Ah ha ha ha, look at how much better I have it than you. I'm very strong, big muscles, yes." But then I actually started talking to him, and I slowly started to realize, hey, maybe Keaton isn't all that bad. And then when he invited me into his house, I saw his beach interior, and I was just like, okay, we're cool now. You have epic interior. Like, I really liked his interior's design. It just gave me very good beach vibes, and I really miss having the beach around since I'm not in Florida anymore. And it turned out that Keaton was super supportive of me in every single way. So, at first, I did not like him, but over time, he just proved to be an amazing eagle, and I like him now. And I hope that he stays in my village for a very long time, because I do not have his amiibo card. Number 4. Just so you know, his name is Rudy, and this is Rudy the Cat. Now, the reason why I like Rudy is a bit more complicated than the rest. You see, on one hand, he looks like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, which I don't mind that much, but on the other hand, he reminds me of an old dog I used to have. Now, I used to live with my aunt and uncle, and my aunt and uncle got me a puppy called Kratos. Rudy looks exactly like my dog Kratos. Kratos was a reddish-brownish husky with white markings. The thing is that, though, I was given a decision to either stay with my mom or with my aunt and uncle, and I wanted to see my mom. So my aunt and uncle cut all ties with us, which means the day that I went to move in with my mom was the day that I could never see Kratos ever again. This was years ago. I have not seen Kratos in years, and it's going to most likely stay that way. And Kratos has most likely passed away at this point. I mean, the way that my aunt and uncle raised their dogs, instead of them having a normal lifespan of about, maybe 10 years, 12 if you really take good care of them, the lifespan of their dogs are normally 6. So, that was the last time I ever saw my dog, Kratos. And that was many years ago. So, it's been quite a while since I saw him, and seeing Rudy isn't Kratos, but Rudy does remind me of Kratos, and Rudy does try to make me happy in every shape, way, or form just like Kratos. So Rudy is kind of like a coping mechanism for what could be my dead dog. I have not had Rudy in my village for a long time whatsoever. He literally just moved in this week, but just because of old memories and the fact that he looks so much like my dog, I love him a lot, and he's very special to me. So, let's move on to number 3. Number 3. Now, I have many things to say about Amelia the Eagle. So, a few weeks ago, I was talking to my mom about amiibo cards, and I showed her many options. So, my mom did eventually get me an amiibo card, and it happened to be Amelia. The thing was that I can't use amiibo cards for my DS because I need to have an extra scanner, and I have a very old chunky DS, so I'm just keeping amiibo cards because they look pretty at this point. But the thing was that when I made my new village and moved in, guess who was the first person in my village? Amelia! I didn't even need an amiibo card to bring her in. She was already there. So because of that, I see her as a good luck sign. She was on my amiibo, couldn't use my amiibo. Then she was in my town. So amazing. Now, Amelia, after she was done with her default outfit, she got a new shirt. And this shirt was very similar to the shirt that Joseph Joestar wears in part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And since I am a crazed JoJo fan lunatic, I was like, yes, Amelia. Best girl in village so far. And also, Amelia was the second one to give me her picture in this new village. So I really like Amelia. Now, if I haven't had these experiences with Amelia, I wouldn't like her as much. But because of unique circumstances, I love her a lot. I love Amelia. Yep. Anyway, let's move on. Number 2. To those of you who don't know, this is Lucky the dog. He's considered a rare villager and is quite popular, but I personally just like him because he was nice to me. And yeah, when I made my new village, he was the first one to give me his picture. Now, I've mentioned picture quite a few times now, and for those who don't know, pictures are something your villager gives you when they're at max friendship level with you. And it's very rare that they actually give the pictures to you because you have to do certain things. And it's all by choice and it's all random. Unless you have full friendship with them. In that case, you're more likely to get it. But anyway, I think Lucky's design is solid, and I just really liked his dialogue. He was extremely nice, which I feel like I have said about every villager at this point, but I just got along with him just fine. But here's something extremely specific that made me adore him forever and want to protect him for all eternity. On many separate occasions, he would run up to me and say, "Oh my god, thank goodness it's Lenny. Hey Lenny, I had a bad dream and you saved me in it, so here, have a gift." And he did this many times, and it made me just feel like, "Aw, Lucky, I will always protect you. It's okay, buddy." So I'm low-key protective for my best friend pal Lucky the dog. Anyway, let's move on to the number 1 spot. Number 1. Now, some of you may think I'm trolling, but I'm not. I am not joking. I actually like Pietro a lot. Now, I know I said his name wrong for a fact, and I know that Pietro is one of the more controversial villagers, because you either love him or hate him, and most people don't like him because he has a clown aesthetic. But let me say something. I know that the media has been making stereotypes about clowns being horrifying and kidnappers, and if you have a phobia of clowns, you're completely valid, but the definition of a clown, a comic entertainer, especially one in a circus, wearing a traditional costume and exaggerated makeup. So, you telling me you're afraid of somebody just wearing crazy outfits, trying to make you laugh? I know I said that if you have a clown phobia, you're valid because it's very common for the media to make stereotypes about that, but there's no reason to really be afraid of them unless they're actually trying to kill you or cause you harm in real life. Anyway, I love Pietro. And as I have already made aware, yes, I know I'm saying his name wrong. And even if you have a clown phobia, Pietro has done nothing wrong. He's just being a playful sheep who loves to wear exaggerated costumes. And he just wants to make you laugh. I don't think Pietro deserves the hate he gets, but at the end of the day, you can have your opinion on it, and I will honestly not be that affected by it. Anyway, let's move on to the actual reasons why I like Pietro. 1, he's super colorful and fun, and 2, I remember having him in a village one time. So I really miss Pietro. He brought a lot of life into my town, and he is my dream villager. If there was any villager that I want to have in every single town, it's going to be Pietro because I love him and he reminds me of the good old times. Also, as I have mentioned before, I'm pronouncing Pietro wrong. Some people call him Pietro or Pietro, but I prefer to call him Pietro, mainly because pie, clowns, the pie clown joke, and I just like the way it sounds, Pietro. So, yeah, that was my favorite top 10 villagers, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!